Hello and welcome back to World Talks. Now, all eyes on Germany as it could possibly enter a new political era. Friedrich Merz is set to take office as the country's next Chancellor, bringing with him a notably tougher stance on Russia than his predecessor. His arrival could mark a major shift in Berlin's foreign policy, particularly when it comes to military support for Ukraine and Germany's broader role in European security. To explore what this leadership change could mean for the region and for the future of war in Ukraine, we are joined now by Elena Davlikanova, Analyst for Research Center for Socio-Economic Policy and Innovations. Good morning. Thank you for being with us, Madam.
Good morning.
So we learned that Johan Vadifuls was appointed for the post of Foreign Minister. How will this nomination directly impact German support for Ukraine?
I believe that this is a very good Ukraine because this candidate was very supportive of Ukraine since the start of the invasion. He argued that Ukraine should be permitted to use German-supplied weapons to target Russia, military targets in Russia, that any restrictions on the use of the weapons on Ukraine in this genocidal war are unjust. He also was very about the public perception of Germans who still believe that this war has nothing to do with Europe, that it is a very localized problem, that this is only Ukraine's problem. And this state of denial is very hard to overcome because of the very long-lasting narrative of pacifism that was inserted into Germany's culture after 1945. And it was very clear, however, Zeitenwende has come, and it's time to change these narratives in order to not attack other countries, but to protect one's own land. And of course, he was very persistent when calling on the German government to deliver on the promises that were given to Ukraine. So overall, I believe that this is a very good news for the country.
So Vadifuls will be working in tandem with Friedrich Merz, a situation quite different from we have observed previously when Annalena Baerbock was often not entirely in line with Chancellor Scholz, right? So now we are facing another critical appointment for Ukraine, which will be the new Minister of Defense. Who are the leading candidates here, and how could their nomination influence Germany's military assistance to Kiev?
Well, this is definitely Boris Pistorius, the current defense minister of Germany. He's one of the most popular politicians in Germany, and most probably he will hold this position, which he was appointed to by Olaf Scholz back in 2023. And yesterday, Boris Pistorius outlined in the interview his vision towards U.S. policies on Ukraine. And I quote, Ukraine could have achieved this almost a year ago by capitulation. This is how Boris Pistorius assesses the peace deal that was offered to Ukraine. He also assured that Germany will continue providing military assistance and that this military assistance is one of the commitments that is clearly stated in the coalition agreement. So if United States decides to withdraw, Germany will raise its aid for Ukraine, no doubt. I believe that this appointment is a very, very good step towards ensuring that Ukraine will continue achieving the support that it very much needs, especially that Boris Pistorius understands very much that Ukraine needs very clear, very robust security guarantees because its NATO membership is going to be delayed for probably a long time. So we will see how this will play out in the as part of the realpolitik, because when it comes to rhetorics, it's all it goes in the right direction.
So not only a duo, but a trio, pro-Ukrainian trio in foreign policy of Germany this time. But it will clearly be dominated by agenda in the coming months. Friedrich Merz has rather specific ideas, especially regarding relationships with the United States. How might the German-American cooperation evolve in your view? And what would that mean for continued Western support for Ukraine?
Well, I believe that when it comes to Mr. Merz, he's a well-known, exceptionally pro-American politician. He, back in the days, was the chairman of the Atlantic Brücke, an association that was promoting German-American friendship and Atlantic. So, in my opinion, he will try to do his best to find the way to balance relationships with Washington. He was also in the board of the BlackRock, so he knows the political landscape very well. However, I doubt that there are many analysts today who are able to predict how exactly relationships with Washington can develop with any given capital around the globe. So we'll wait and see. However, I believe that Europe is very, very interested in remaining a part of the transatlantic union. NATO should be preserved, in opinion of many European leaders, because they are afraid that Europe itself doesn't still have enough capacity to protect itself and protect Ukraine. However, we also see that the Chancellor already announced the package for Ukraine, which equates to 3 billion euros. And of course, we all remember a very bold step towards debt break, which was a very unpopular decision in the German society. However, it is time for Germany to invest more in its defense, because it should become a very important player, not only as an economic and political locomotive of Europe, but also as a military force.
I would like to come back to this exceptional meeting in Vatican, where Volodymyr Zelensky held high-ranked conversations and talks with Emmanuel Macron, with Keir Starmer. Did you notice any talks with Friedrich Merz, however? Because a related topic would be obviously deploying international peacekeeping forces once conditions allow, obviously. And do you think Germany under Merz would be likely to support such initiatives or even send the Bundeswehr to Ukraine as a participant force?
I haven't heard that anyone was very particular, or there was a very clear promise of doing that from Germany. However, I think when the right time comes, or if conditions are so that Ukraine might withstand without this support, then I believe that politicians will make the right decision. This idea is in the air. It has been discussed for quite a long time, and I believe at some point we might see how it turns out. However, at this particular point, negotiations are going back and forth, and this week will be a decisive week for us to understand where United States will stand on brokering Russia-Ukraine peace deal, and depending on the decisions that will be made in Washington, I believe this will shape a lot of decisions in Europe.
Exactly. This week will be decisive, as Marco Rubio also put it. But the Republicans, as we hear, the Republican leadership in the US appear divided over whether to pressure Russia with further sanctions or not. What do you think is going to happen, and who is going to take the lead within the within the Republican movement?
Well, as I said, I say when analysts are asked to comment on what's going to happen in Washington, it's like throwing the coin, because it could be either or, with probably the same probability. We all, of course, here in Ukraine, we believe that United States should not abandon Ukraine, because this will be a loss of not only Ukraine's sovereignty, but this will be a loss of the U.S. status as a world leader, as a guarantor of security. Its whole status will shake, and I think that this will make an irreversible damage to its image and to the level of trust of other countries towards U.S. Promises or protection or cooperation with the U.S. So overall, we hope that common sense will prevail, and we hope that the United States will remain a very reliable ally, as it has been since 2014.
Elena Davlikanova, thank you so much. So this week will be extremely important for the future of the peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. Thank you so much. Analyst for Research Center for Socioeconomic Policy and Innovations, Elena Davlikanova, has been with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczynska. Thank you and goodbye.